I'm a 27-year-old man whose sister earned straight A-plus grades but struggles to find work. Meanwhile, my family branded me a failure for getting an F, yet I ended up hiring her and publicly shamed my parents at their own event. My parents, despite living in the US for 2 generations, clung to outdated views on parenting, fixated on academic success as the sole path to prosperity. They kicked me out of the house for my poor grades, a decision rooted in their rigid beliefs. My upbringing was overshadowed by my parents' obsession with my school performance. They constantly compared me to my sister, who's a year older and always topped her class. In elementary school, I managed mostly A's, but she graduated with perfect A-plus grades, outranking me. That's when my parents' disappointment began. By middle school, they'd compare my report card to my sister's from the previous year after every exam. This relentless comparison eroded my confidence, and my grades slipped from A's to B's, and C's. My parents' frustration grew with each drop in my grades. They punished me harshly, short of physical abuse. They'd make me kneel for hours without food or water, starve me the night before exams to focus my mind, and strip away privileges like video games, outdoor play, or treats like ice cream and chocolate. Their mantra was clear: good grades equaled rewards, anything less meant deprivation. Eventually, I stopped asking for anything, knowing it was futile. My parents run a small grocery store, a business built from the struggles of my grandparents, who were immigrants working multiple low-wage jobs. My father dropped out of school early to support his family, and my mother's story mirrors his. They worked tirelessly in their youth to establish the store, believing that academic excellence was the only escape from poverty. While I respect their hard work, their approach to parenting was extreme. To them, grades defined success, and anything less than perfection was failure. They dismissed the idea that repeating a year wasn't catastrophic, it only delayed you slightly. But they saw it as a personal affront. I tried to match my sister's academic prowess but struggled with rote memorization, though I excelled in subjects like math that didn't require it. As their punishments intensified, I rebelled. I skipped classes, hung out at the playground, and filled exam papers with jokes and song lyrics to provoke them further. They responded by grounding me in the basement with my books, confiscating my comics and games, and banning me from playing outside during weekends or vacations. But I was resourceful. When they left for the store each morning, I'd sneak out to play, free until they returned at night. When they caught on, they started dragging me to the store on weekends and summer breaks as punishment. Surprisingly, I loved it. I enjoyed chatting with customers, recommending products, and handling the register. My parents, however, were horrified. They didn't want me following in their footsteps at the store. They dreamed of me becoming a doctor or engineer. When I casually mentioned wanting to be a salesman because I was good at closing deals, they were appalled, insisting that sales was for ignorant people and that their investment in my education demanded a respectable career. The breaking point came when I got an F in my first year of high school, forcing me to repeat the year. My parents exploded, treating me like I'd committed a crime. They'd exhausted their punishments. Verbal abuse and mental torment reached new heights. They called me a disgrace, claiming I'd brought shame to the family, and kicked me out, telling me to survive on my own or die trying. Devastated but oddly liberated, I spent my first night on a park bench. The next day, I scoured downtown for sales jobs, knowing I had a knack for it. After pitching myself to dozens of stores, I landed a job at a beauty shop. With no experience or qualifications, I convinced the owner by selling an expensive lipstick as an add-on to a customer buying night cream. He hired me, offering a place to sleep and a modest wage. As sales grew, I negotiated a commission per sale, marking the start of my journey as a businessman. My time at my parents' store, which they saw as punishment, gave me real-world skills they undervalued. I later switched jobs for better pay, and though one employer offered to fund my education, I declined. I had bigger plans. At 21, I launched my own company, providing sales and support services to small businesses. We generate revenue for clients across industries: credit cards, insurance, cosmetics, books, and earn high commissions. Starting with 5 employees and 1 client selling mattresses, my business grew over 5 years to 200 agents serving over 50 companies. Meanwhile, my mother recently started reaching out, following me on social media, liking old posts, and messaging me. She's clearly impressed by my success, despite once calling me a failure destined for nothing without good grades. She texted that she missed me and invited me home, praising my achievements. Though I ignored her at first, the memories of my childhood trauma gnawed at me. I wanted to confront them and flaunt my success. My fiancé, however, warned me against getting entangled, suspecting they'd guilt-trip me for money. Against my fiancé's advice, I visited my parents. My dad wasn't home, but my mom and sister were waiting. Mom apologized, blaming Dad's old-school obsession with grades for my suffering. When I pointed out her role in the punishments, she laughed it off, claiming she was just following Dad's lead and urged me to move on for a happy family reunion. I asked about my sister, who has a master's in literature but can't land a teaching job due to poor communication and social skills. Skills stunted by our parents' controlling parenting. She spent her life locked away studying to please them, leaving her socially isolated. She joined me in criticizing our mom, who deflected blame to Dad and cried. Mom's pride in my success felt hollow. She doesn't understand entrepreneurship, equating it to running a grocery store, which she disdains. My fiancé bet Mom would ask for money, but she hasn't yet, though her frequent texts suggest it's coming. She invited me to a family dinner, and I'll update soon. I got my revenge. Mom insisted I attend a dinner they were hosting with friends and relatives, claiming Dad wanted to apologize in person. I saw my chance. Dressed in a workout sweater, hiking shorts, and a cap, taboo for an Asian family event. I arrived 2 hours late, ignoring Mom's calls and texting vague excuses. The rooftop restaurant setup was lavish, with my parents playing perfect hosts. They hugged me, toasted my success, and bragged about my wealth, taking credit for shaping me through their tough love. When my aunt called them out for kicking me out, they claimed it was to set me on the right path. I snapped, sarcastically thanking them for their brilliant parenting, kicking me out, starving me, locking me in the basement. I mocked their belief that I'd end up a loser or criminal, pointing out how their punishments made me who I am. My sister, tearful but supportive, stood by me. I offered her a job at my company to build her skills, as her A+ grades left her unprepared for the real world. I cut ties with my parents, telling Mom never to contact me again, and blocked her. My sister praised me for exposing their obsession with their image as perfect parents. Relatives reached out, apologetic, but I clarified I didn't want sympathy, just to show how damaging their parenting was. My husband's cold revenge after my affair. I'm a 30-year-old woman who cheated on my 27-year-old husband. Overwhelmed by guilt, I ended the affair and confessed. He was more hurt than angry, and I begged him not to divorce me, offering counseling or even letting him sleep with others. He agreed to work on our marriage, but his behavior turned cold. I tried being the perfect wife, cooking his favorite meals, leaving sweet notes, wearing new lingerie. But he only responds with polite smiles and thanks, never saying he loves me. His detachment feels artificial, and I crave his real emotions, even if it's anger. I want to fix this, but I'm losing hope. Clarification. We've been married 5 years. The affair with a client lasted a few months. I ended it, reassigned the client's contract to a colleague, and started therapy. I don't fully understand why I cheated. It felt like I was on autopilot. Despite my efforts, my husband remains distant. When I called him once, I heard a woman laughing in the background. He brushed it off, saying it was none of my business. A friend saw him in a car with an unfamiliar woman, possibly holding hands. I suspect he's cheating, which I'd accept as fair, but his secrecy hurts. I'm torn between confronting him or digging deeper. I confronted him after breaking down. He admitted to talking to a woman from work, but denied a physical affair, saying he only shared our marital issues with her. He claimed he pretended to cheat to make me feel his pain, as I'd rubbed my affair in his face. He said my post-confession efforts felt selfish and meaningless, showing I lacked self-respect. He agreed to counseling but declared our marriage over, saying I'm no longer the woman he loved. He's moving out to a new apartment, not with the woman, but nearby. When I accused him of choosing a stranger over me, he said the wife he knew is gone, and this woman impressed him more. He warned that if I complicate the divorce, he'll expose my affair to ruin my reputation. He's packed and left, and I'm devastated, still hoping to win him back. I received divorce papers today. It feels unreal, like a nightmare. I kept tabs on him, hoping he'd return, but learned there's no other woman. I love him and can't accept that he's done with us.
Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences. Your support and insights helped me realize I wasn't being unreasonable and gave me the courage to trust my gut.